Welcome to Smell of Page. The Treasure Box, written by Sarojini Sinha. Chapter 7. Govind rushed downstairs and threw the door open. "How glad I am to see you, Chindamani," he said. "Where have you come from?" "From Aligarh. I'm going to Agra. I thought I would sleep here in the front veranda while I'm in Delhi. Your father asked me to take a look at the place and let him know if everything was all right. He gave me to understand that the house was empty with everyone in Bulandshahr. What are you doing here, Govind?" Govind told him of his illness and how he and Bola had stayed on. Then he realized he was the host and said, "Come in, Chindamani, come in. Stay with me for as long as you like." "Oh, I wouldn't be here for long," Chindamani replied. "In a day or two I shall ride to Agra and on to Jhansi." In the morning, Chindamani told the boys how he and others had ridden to Aligarh with the news of uprising at Meerut and Delhi. The sepoys at Aligarh too had risen against the East India Company and marched to Delhi to join the freedom fighters. "With the loss of Aligarh," said Chindamani, "communications were cut between Meerut and other places including Agra, where the British Lieutenant Governor had his headquarters. There was panic in Agra. The Lieutenant Governor asked the Raja of Bharatpur and Maharaja of Gwalior for help. Both sent troop detachments to crush the freedom fighters. It was then I decided to act. A group of us approached the men from Bharatpur and Gwalior and up their patriotism. They were quick to respond and offered to make common cause with the freedom fighters." Chindamani's face glowed with excitement. The British found themselves in a predicament and took shelter in Agra fort. Since then, I have been moving from place to place, hearing the messages of freedom and calling on the people to rally for the struggle to throw the foreigners out of the country. I shall tell people in Jhansi how freedom fighters from Rajasthan, Punjab, Oudh, Malwa and other places are pouring into Delhi and how keen they are to be free of the foreigners. Such news always heartens people and strengthens their will to fight." Govind and Bola listened to Chindamani with rapt attention. It was good to hear that people all over the country were determined to be free. Govind pressed Chindamani to stay, but he would not. "This is not the time to rest, Govind," he said. "All of us must work hard." After Chindamani left, Govind went to Abdul's house. "I want to join the army, Abdul," he declared. "I want to learn to march, handle a gun, and fight the British." Abdul could not laughing. "Who will have you in the army, Govind?" he asked. "You are just 14. Govind looked hurt, and Abdul hastened to reassure him. "I know you are anxious to do something for the cause, but it isn't necessary for you to be a sepoy, Govind." "Why? What do you mean?" "There are so many sepoys, and more are pouring into the city every day." "Who needs more sepoys?" Govind felt sadder than ever. Here he was so anxious to take part in the freedom struggle, but there was nothing he could do. "Well, I must go home," he said, getting up. "Wait a minute, Govind. There's something you can do," Abdul said. Govind paused while Abdul continued. "My patron is very ill with diarrhea and vomiting." The boy looked disappointed. "Listen to me," urged Abdul. "He's a very important man and very influential. He is Mirza Yunus Khan, a noble man and a patriot. He has raised an army at his own expense to fight for the emperor. Govind was quite impressed. After leaving the service of Firanjis, I joined the man serving under Mirza Sahib. He pays his men regularly and maintains strict discipline, so they are better fighters than the others who receive no pay and have no one to lead them. You come with me to Mirza Sahib's house. Govind agreed and followed Abdul. They found Mirza Yunus Khan in the Baitkhana, leaning against a bolster. His face was pale and drawn, but Govind could see that he was handsome. He looked every inch a soldier. Abdul introduced Govind. I have brought a Vaidya to treat you, Mirza Sahib. Yunus Khan looked Govind up and down and frowned. Did you say this boy is a Vaidya? Are you joking, Abdul? No, Mirza Sahib. He is Govind Prasad, son of the famous Ayodhya Prasad. He knows how to treat most diseases. Yunus Khan fixed his sharp eyes on Govind and asked him in a deep voice, Is it true you are a Vaidya? I am not a properly qualified Vaidya, but I have worked with my father, Govind replied. Looking him straight in the face, I shall try your medicines. Go and get me some. The authority in his voice was unmistakable. Govind examined Yunus Khan and asked him what all he had eaten and when. Then he promised to do his best. Outside the house, Govind told his friend, Look what you have let me in for. I'm not a Vaidya and you know it. Abdul smiled. I know it. And if times were normal, no one would consult you. But all the well-known Hakims and Vaidya have quit Delhi and we have to consult whoever is here. Speaking more earnestly, Abdul said, If you can cure Mirza Sahib, I should be able to persuade him to let you join the men he is training. You are too young to fight, but at last you will learn to march and use a gun. Govind was pleased with the turn of events. He knew of a very good cure of diarrhea and vomiting. Green pudina, leaves ground, and mixed with a powder his father had stored in an earthen jar. While making the mixture, Govind wondered whether his father had reached Kanpur and was treating the sick and wounded there. Returning to Mirza Sahib's house with the medicine, Govind asked him to take a pinch of it 5 times a day with a little boiled water. By the next day, the patient was much better, and all praise for Govind. I shall employ you in my household, he said, and you will treat the members of my family. Govind was silent, and Abdul spoke for him. He is eager to join the army and fight the British. It was a waste of skill. Besides, he is too young for the army. Yunus Khan was firm. That's what I told him, Abdul said. But he has set his heart on fighting. So, please let him train with your man, and in return, he will treat whoever falls ill in your family. After a little argument, it was decided that Govind would train with Mirza Yunus Khan's men, but was not to take part in the actual fighting. Govind was happy. He would learn to use the gun and, when the time came, would fight the foreigners.